I would describe GBS as similar to MS, so kind of like MS's cousin. I would describe it as a devastating disorder that comes on very quickly and devastates lives. And even though it's something that you can recover from, it's still very tragic and very heartbreaking and very hard to understand what's happening to you, especially if you've never heard of it before, which majority of people haven't. When I was diagnosed, a lot of doctors were saying to me, oh, we've never seen a case of GBS before. Just that unknown of what's gonna happen to me. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna ever recover from this? Am I gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life? And you just don't know, and you just feel very isolated. So I was diagnosed with GBS when I was 26, and it was shortly after the birth of my daughter. It started with a tingle in my finger, and within 12 hours I was having trouble walking, went to the hospital. Within 72 hours of that very first symptom, I was in ICU. So it was very, very fast. We were hopeful that the IVIG would work and I would get better right away. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I went into respiratory failure, and so I was on a ventilator, and I stayed on a ventilator for about 2.5 months. Couldn't move, couldn't talk, couldn't hold my baby. She was 3 weeks old when I was diagnosed. And the paralysis, was so severe. I mean, at one point, all I could do was blink my eyes, and I communicated by using a communication board where a family would point to letters on the board, and then I would blink. When you're 26, you think you have your whole life ahead of you, and you think you're gonna be healthy forever, and then all of a sudden, almost overnight, it seemed like it was taken away from me. I was very depressed being in ICU and very depressed not being able to be a mother to my baby. And so when I started connecting with other people and some doctors actually brought in some other patients to come visit me, that's kind of where I found support and where you start to feel less alone when you find other people that have had it. Over time, I started to get a little bit better. My health improved, my paralysis started to fade, and I started to see hope and see light at the end of the tunnel, and I went to rehab, and that's where I learned how to hold cutlery and feed myself and drink out of cups and strengthen my muscles, and got back to walking again. So once I left the hospital, the rehab hospital, I went home and I did outpatient probably for about 6 months. And then just kind of took it upon myself to do the exercises and some of the things that the physiotherapist team had given me, just so that I can continue getting stronger. It was about 1 year before I kind of felt like me again, but I still had a lot of lingering issues. It was around probably year 2 where I felt like I had returned to be able to do all the things that I could do before. I still have some nerve pain in my feet, a little bit of weakness in my ankles, nerve pain in my fingers as well, and then fatigue as well, which is kind of the most common residual that we get. And just the more fatigued I am, then the nerve pain kind of comes on as well. Being able to use my hands again and be able to hold my daughter and play with her and then eventually run was not something I thought I would be able to do. And so it's just gratitude that I can. I would have never experienced that had I not been paralyzed and had to use a walker for a very long time and was in a wheelchair for a very long time. So just grateful for my health and just living life to the fullest. I mean, you never know when things can change. So it's kind of changed my whole perspective on life for sure. When I was diagnosed, and my family took a lot of videos, and we pieced together the videos and we put it on YouTube. And through that video, I've connected with so many patients around the world. It's just amazing to connect with people that will email me and say, I went through what you did too, or you've given me hope. That's the positive that I've seen out of it, is just being able to help other people and show them that there is life after GBS. It's going to be a slow process, and it's not something that you'll see progress overnight. You're going to measure time in months and years almost. So I say just take it day by day and just keep trying and keep fighting and just keep moving forward and to never give up. Be aware, we are rare, please share.